Hey YouTube, Sig220 Euro. It's Saturday, June 20th, 2015, and here's my corn bed I put in last week. Sorry for all the noise down here by the road, and it's busy today. I guess everybody's got to go out and gas ass today. Anyways, not sure if I planted the corn right or not. I ended up putting them, let's see here, basically 2 per row, like across from each other. I thought that's what it said. I know corn's got to be kind of dense, but I just put this in last week, and you know, as you can see here, it's up and looking pretty nice already. Got my weekly feed down there. I got to water it in yet. Got to get the hoses and stuff strung out, but it's about a 30-foot bed. This first type here is I believe it's honey and cream, honey and milk, something like that. Those all seem to do really well. I planted them out to about here. The other one is a sugar queen variety of some kind, I believe, or silver queen, I'm sorry, variety. I'm not sure. There's a few of them up, but not as many, so not sure if they're just slower to germinate, or they might have been, there were some older seeds from like 2013, so maybe they're not good. But anyways, I put these beds together. It's not totally leveled out. I just kind of put it together, and I didn't take time last week when I was doing it to pull the strings out and level it, everything. So it looks like things are doing okay though. I do see I had one blowout. We had a lot of rain here this week while I was gone. So it looked like we had a lot of water. This must have been the low end. You can see there, kind of had a blowout. I got to fix that. But all right, take it and show you the rest. Here's my potato tower that I built up last week and planted in some superiors, and I was glad to see I've already got a couple coming up. Thought it was just those two, but as I look closer, there's one there, another one over here just pushing up through. So hopefully those will go good. Nothing out of this back corner though, so we'll see. But for only a week, I was pretty happy. This is the box. I'm out of sawdust, so I just ended up, it's a peat moss and sand mix. So you can see the sand almost looks like it kind of came to the surface, but we had, like I said, a lot of rain here this week. Over here, I was like flabbergasted when I saw these last night when I got home, because I had hilled these last week. Got it in my video, hadn't shown yet, but here's my potatoes. And I had just hilled those last week to where there was just a few inches sticking out, and you can see they are just exploding. I do see it looks like I'm getting something's nibbling on my leaves. I got some holes in some of them, so I'm gonna have to look at that. Maybe throw some 7 dust on or something. I know that's what the family's always used for years, so I don't know, that seems to work. And I'm not super into the letter of the law and everything being organic or whatever. Need healthy plants to make healthy potatoes. I might also check into some of the soaps. I know they have some different kind of soaps you can mix up, and I believe some have even said of just using plain Dawn dish soap mixed up with some water. So I got to do a little bit more reading on that and a little bit more searching on YouTube. But like I said, these are doing amazing, as you can see. And next I'll take you over to the garden. Well, here's my first box with my tomatoes, and as you can see, they're just exploding. This rain, and we've had some a week or so pretty high humidity and warm temperatures up in the 80s and 90s, and you can see the plants themselves are exploding. I got blossoms coming out all over, and also I've got some really nice sized tomatoes, these San Marinos. Let me see, it's kind of hard to see the screen here, sorry, but you can see we've got some really nice tomatoes coming on there. These cherries and grapes are starting to load up. This was a sucker I put in. It's not doing so good. That sucker's doing better, but it's kind of yellow, so I threw some feed on it. I might need to trim it back a little bit, but my cauliflower, they're looking really nice. And these two that had gotten chewed off are starting to make a pretty nice recovery as well. My onions still looking a little bit on the pathetic side. I did take on last, I believe Sunday, I took and nipped all the ends off because where they were dead and looking. I do see it looks like some of them still have it on. I had an extra squash, so I planted it in there. I know, kind of violating the rules, but I'm going to try to train it up the post or drop a string to train it there. My peppers are looking pretty nice. One in the corner is a little less so, but it's gotten abused a little bit. So that's a rabbit nibbled on it, and I think the boys, when they've been out helping me water, my youngest, the 2-year-old, sat his watering can on it once or twice. So, but the tomatoes here are looking really nice. I'm going to go through and trim up the ones that are down on the ground, go through, trim the suckers. I did start going through and wrapping some of them that they've grown so much. I needed to go ahead and wrap the twine on them. So over on my other box, I got this last half in last week. I don't think I had anything video on it, but you can see these are pretty yellow and stuff. A lot of these plants were ones that I had and they sat for a few weeks in the containers. A couple of them were ones that I had started from seed. So I've got to get the wires up and stuff on this one. I did get the 2x4s to put across the ends of this. I'm going to try to do that today yet. There was a plant in here. It died. That was a sucker I just took off of these, I believe it was a Brandywine or the Supersonic tomato. So I thought, since I got an empty spot, I'd stick one in there, see if I get it going. This little plant, this was one of my potluck. I don't remember what it was that's in here. It's not looking overly healthy. Might be looking a little bit better than it did last week. This one, almost forget. This thing here, I think, is a broccoli that I had transplanted, and you can see it's pretty miserable looking. At this point, it's an experiment to see if it'll grow, if it'll take off or not. It just went in there last week, so it's still hanging in there, so we'll see. I'm kind of interested to see what it grows up to, if it does. Watermelon had a little branch on here, or one of the ends that was looking a little sick, so I broke it off, trimmed it off. These are really starting to grow and vine, so I've really got to get my wires up. But the cucumbers and zucchini, the eggplant have just exploded. They're looking awesome, and I see them starting to get blossoms on there. So that's kind of cool. I've never done eggplant, so I'm excited to see those doing so well. Mittleider method seems to really be helping them out. Ooh, I see. It looks like I have a hole there, so I'll do some trimming. But overall, you can see these not the greatest, but also they're just just kind of only been in here about this side of the bed's been in about 2 weekends, and that side I just put in last weekend. So I'm not calling it a fail yet. We'll see how they go. So that's kind of where we are this week. And that I am glad to see the rabbit fencing seems to be working. It's kept the rabbits out. I think I'm gonna have to do something a little bit more permanent than just having it kind of half wrapped around there. I'm gonna have to put some stakes in and maybe get another roll of it and just do the whole entire garden area, because I don't know if once these things get going, if they'll come in and go after the cucumbers or zucchini or anything. So, but let me run you up and show you my pots. Okay, here are my 2 original ones that have been in about 3 weeks, I guess now. You can see they're doing really well, especially these ones. I think these are the cherry. Plant's really getting large. Starting to get a lot of blossoms, not seeing really any fruit though. However, this small one, you can see down in here, get a good view. The grapes, it's getting quite a bit of fruit on it, looking really nice. Put a cage in both of those, trying to just kind of train them up, so hopefully they'll do well. These are ones that I planted last week. Same thing, they were ones that had been in containers for quite a while. That one looks kind of sick with the bent over. It kind of got deformed. The container it was in had blown over, and as you can see, it kind of has a permanent kink. So not sure what will happen there. This one though, is looking good. They're loading up with fruit, so hopefully it's all promising stuff. This one, I got home Friday, and as I said, we've had a lot of rain, and it has one of those bases on there, and it's a nice pot. But the problem is, even though that's got like that drip pan, it's sealed so tight around the bottom of this thing that the water was about 3/4 of an inch from the top of the container itself. All the grow media, everything else was so saturated, basically everything was floating. I'm surprised the tomato didn't die, so I had to get that ripped off there, let the water drain out, and I'm just going to leave it off. I did put the weekly feed on these already, which worked out well. I just kind of watered it in lightly, so I didn't want to put too much water, being everything's been so soaked this week. I mean, they are self-draining, but anyways. So there you go. There's a weekly update. So thanks for checking it out.